Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this glorious day, even the rain we are so thankful for. We ask that as we enter into our Market Steer show tonight, that you fill these kids completely to the top with the confidence that they need and just calm everyone's hearts. This is a wonderful competition, and it is all in good spirit that these kids have worked so hard to get across the finish line with these projects. Lord, thank you for the many blessings for all of our families. Thank you for the people that are here to support those families. And we just ask that you continue to bless us, bless our barns, bless our new project, and just bless everything, including the Buckwheat Festival, all of our volunteers. And it's in your precious name that we pray. Amen.
Our judge this evening is Mr. Nick Fowler from Hardin County, Ohio. He's a graduate of The Ohio State University. His family has operated Fowler South Downs for 25 years, raising and selling competitive South Downs across the country. Recently, with his wife Allison and 2 kids, they have started Big Spring Livestock, which runs about 25 clubland type views. He has judged shows in over 10 different states and enjoys any opportunity to get in the ring. Let's give Mr. Fowler a round of applause. All right, we're ready to start with Class 1. Elizabeth Witt, with the steer weighing 1,006 pounds. Hunter Harsh, steer weighing 1,015 pounds. And Riley Moats, 1,035 pounds.
It's all right. You can get it to me.
We would like to take some time to thank our sponsors, the PCLA, Street Store, Preston Contractors, Prodigy, Snyder Heating and Cooling, Billstone Excavating, Preston Farmers Market, Schrock Farm Equipment, Lennox Oil Workers, Farm Credit of the Virginias, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, Eglin Mountaineer 4-H, Cranberry Medicine Clinic. Our gold sponsors are Kevin and Samantha Stone, Faithful Enterprises, Valley Pharmacy, Bill and Cindy Shockey, Joe and Crystal Dean, ACI Lear Mine, Child's Feed and Supply, and Cell Enterprises. Our silver sponsors are Preston County CEOs, Sandy Cows 4-H Club, and John and Nicole Beasley. to extend our sincere thank you to the volunteers and the behind-the-scene donations, the Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, PCLA officers and directors, barn and show chairman, our auctioneers, the extension office, Nick Bolt, Stone Paving, Stephanie Arnett with Charm Flower Farm, Mountain Digital Hometown TV, Prodigy Fiber to Home, LEC Market, BFS, Tractor Supply, Freedom Ag and Energy, Valley Point Farmers Seed and Supply, Portable Signs, Samantha Stone, and Triple P Meats.
As we start off here in the lightweights, we're going to start off with the red-colored steer. I think he comes out and just excels this group just in terms of being just a little stouter, a little wider. And I think this one is probably the one that's got the most on him, just in terms of condition, the one that's closest to being where he needs to be. I think probably in relation to a couple of these behind him, gets just a little coarser and just shorter and how his head, neck, and everything attaches. Just like to clean him up a little bit there, but I think other than that, he definitely excels in class, just in terms of having some muscle, having some stoutness. He balances good, gets around the ring really well. Nice place to go ahead and to start tonight. Then we get into a pair of cows here that will come down to be second and third. I think both of these two in comparison just lack a little bit right when we get on top of them, just in terms of muscle, in terms of shape. I think this one that's going to go ahead and be second, he just gets there. It's just better in terms of his balance, in terms of everything staying together, especially when we put him in motion. I think that calf just handles himself quite a bit better. And then the one we round out the class with probably has the advantage just in terms of overall length of bodies and size and scale. Just needs quite a bit more time to go ahead and fill in and fill out. Let's give them all a big round of applause. A nice class.
Congratulations to Class 1. First place, Elizabeth Witt. Second place, Hunter Harsh. Riley Moats in third place. That's also the order for our county bred placing. Elizabeth and Hunter will need to come back for the lightweight drive. Now entering the ring, we have Class 2, Stephen Hauser, the steer weighing 1,062 pounds. Raven Moats with the steer weighing 1,065 pounds. Lila Riley weighing 1,098 pounds. And Rylan Sanders with a steer weighing 1,101 pounds.
next group as we work into the next class. I think a really nice pair to go ahead and start out at the top. I think when you just get in and handle these two, you get right on top of them. I think they're fairly similar just in terms of handle, in terms of muscle shape. I think it's when we get them out in motion, when we study them on the profile, I think that one we're going to lead off with. He just holds together better in terms of his front end, in terms of his chest forward, his breastplate. I think he's better there. He's better in terms of his center body, in terms of the depth. Just balances up quite a bit better. We're going to go ahead and use him to lead off. This one that's in second, like I said, just in terms of muscle and mass, being a nice show steer. He's a really nice one to go ahead and be second within this class. Just those small things, just in terms of his front end, the way that shoulder, that chest is put together. And then in terms of the center body, just need a little bit more pop compared to that class winner. But a really nice pair. Then we get into another steer here in third, the young man's one that's colored up here. I think that one is one that's really good just in terms of his top line, in terms of his balance, just basic build. That's a nice calf. Just gets really outmassed and outpowered within this group. He's doing a really nice job with it. And then the one we're going to round out with is one that's a little taller, just in terms of frame size, in terms of size and scale. A little bit extra in terms of length. Probably just not as smooth. Especially when we get a hold of him, he just needs quite a bit more on him to go ahead and be closer to finish. But that's a nice calf as well. Let's give him all a round of applause.
First place in that class goes to Rylan Sanders. Second place to Lyle Riley. Third place to Stephen Hauser. Fourth place to Raven Moats. Rylan is our first place county bred, and Stephen will be our second. Now entering the ring with class 3, Kinley Stone with a steer weighing 1,194 pounds. Ty Jenkins with a steer weighing 1,198 pounds. And Caden Bolliard steer weighing 1,209 pounds.
As we move into the next class, I think the last class in this division kind of turned up the heat a little bit. We got three really nice calves in this class, and this top pair I think are really nice. I think they're pretty different from each other. This one we're going to start off with. He's definitely a little bit more refined. He has a little bit more just growth to him. He's probably a little bit later, just in terms of maturity pattern at this point. When you get a hold of him, he doesn't disappoint you, and that's. I guess when we put him out in motion, I think he just holds himself together quite a bit better up through that front 1/3, holding that hind leg together really well. We're going to go ahead and use him to win this class. The young man that's in second here, this one here, when you just get right over top of him and you look at him, there's a lot there just in terms of mass and power. When you study this one from the front, he's really wide at that chest. He's really wide from behind. For me, he's just kind of a little bit too small, too compact. We are in the lightweight class, but I think that one probably gets a little bit coarser in that shoulder and just doesn't quite get around quite as well as he needs to right now. And then this red steer that's going to round out this class, this one's actually really nice. You get a hold of him, handles good, there's plenty of muscle. I think the front 2/3 of that calf are really nice. Like to see him get out and travel just a little bit better off those rear legs to go ahead and compete with those two ahead of him. Nice group of calves. Let's go ahead and give them all a round of applause.
First place went to Kenley Stone, second to Caden Lawyer, third place to Ty Jenkins. Ty is also our first place county bred. Now for the lightweight drive, we'll need Elizabeth Wick, Ryland Sanders, and Kenley Stone. In the second place to those steers, Hunter Harsh, Lila Riley, and Caden Bowyer. On standby, we'll need the county bred, Stephen Hauser, and Ty Jenkins.
As we bring these back in for the division, we're going to go ahead and use that class winner out of that last class for this division. Let's give that young man a round of applause.
We'll need Caden Bowyer in the ring, please.
We dropped that second place in here. Like I said, I think that class was really good, especially there at the top. We're going to go ahead and follow with the second place out of that class. This young man here will be reserved.
Rylan and Emily or Elizabeth can stay in the ring. We need Ty Jenkins.
As we bring these back in for your champion county bred, I do think it gets a little bit closer between that one out of the before one up there and then the red steer that we just brought in. I think probably there's a little bit of difference. We like that one a little bit better just when we get him in motion. And then when we get him in motion, this red steer here I think probably has more to him just in terms of pop, in terms of the center body, in terms of actual muscle. I just got to fix him off his rear legs. We are going to use that one up front for your gram.
We need Steven Hauser.
As we drop that next one back in from that class, he comes out, and like we talked about him in class there, that's one that gives you a really good look. He's good in terms of his balance, probably just needs opened up, just a little more muscle, a little more time on him. We're going to go ahead and follow up the reserve with the red steer in the middle here.
Congratulations to our champion lightweight, Kinley Stone. Reserve champion lightweight, Caden Bolliard. Champion county bred lightweight, Rylan Sanders. And reserve champion county bred lightweight, Ty Jenkins. Exhibitors, please remember we have to do the county bred drive, so stay on deck. Entering the ring now, class 1 of the medium weight, Emily Witt with a steer weighing 1,220 pounds, and Connor Gibson with a steer weighing 1,222 pounds.
I just want to make sure that, it's not wet and I don't rub on my pants and get my pants wet.
Just the two. Just two.
I think another nice pair of steers will move into this next class. I think both of these have plenty of product, just as far as muscle and just body. I think the big difference is that one we're going to start with. Everything's just a little bit smoother in terms of his top line, in terms of his underline, his skeleton. I think everything just fits together quite a bit better on him. The one that's going to be second here, that's a nice one. You get right on top of him. Doesn't lack for any muscle, doesn't lack for any center body. Just need to see him fit together a little bit better, particularly when we get him in motion. Gets just a little bit deeper in that chest, a little bigger about that shoulder. Not quite as flexible as the one that we're going to go to start with, but a nice pair of steers.
Congratulations to our first place, Emily Witt. Second place, Connor Dixon. Connor is our first place county bred steer in that class. Now entering the ring is class 2 of the medium weights. Emma Simple with a steer weighing 1,276 pounds. Colby Hayes with a steer weighing 1,283 pounds. Lane Jenkins with a steer weighing 1,297 pounds. Nick Bernatowitz with a steer weighing 1,306 pounds. And Laura Simple with a steer weighing 1,306 pounds.
As we come out into the next class here, I think there's some pieces and some parts of everything in the top three of this group that you like a lot of things about. I don't know if there's one that just necessarily just hits me perfect. This one that we're going to go ahead and lead off with, I think he just puts the most together, just in terms of when you get right on top of him, he's impressive, just the amount of muscle he has, the amount of center rib cage, center body, and he holds that all together fairly well. He's probably not perfect just in terms of his rear leg. He gets just a little bit finer there in terms of his feature, just at the ground. And I think the stoutness and the burliness, just the extra hair and fluff that this one in second has definitely catches your attention. When he first walks in, I think he's a little more opened up just there in terms of his forearm. When you get on top of him, get a hold of him, he probably isn't probably as impressive as I thought he was going to be. Just getting a hold of him there, I don't think he's quite as big. He's not as smooth there. I think when he comes out of his shoulder, and then we set him in motion, just the way his shoulder, everything fits together. I'd just like to see him a notch smoother there. And then the one that we're going to get here in third place, when you get right on top of that calf, he's pretty impressive. I think this one has a lot of muscle. And I think the front third of that one in terms of his rib cage, his body is good. It's from there back. He just doesn't have a lot of center in terms of his center body. He doesn't have as much in terms of his lower stifle. We just need that one to balance up a little better, be a little bit different in terms of his rear legs. And then we get into a pair of calves here that are going to round out that I think are just giving up a little bit when we get right in behind them, just in terms of overall product, overall just some of the show ring looks, some of the balance that we see in some of the head of them. But I think both of these are good just in terms of having some center body. They look like they fed well. They're just not quite as stout, don't have quite as much overall just pop and muscle. A really nice class. Let's go ahead and give them all a round of applause.
First place in that class, Nick Bernadowitz. Second place, Laura Simple. Third place, Colby Hayes. Fourth place, Emma Simple. And fifth place, Lane Jenkins. It's the same way for the county grid. Now entering the ring for class 3 in the medium weight, Colton Glanville with a steer weighing 1,318 pounds. Callie Simple with a steer weighing 1,327 pounds. Landon Sisler with a steer weighing 1,349 pounds. And Joseph Hauser with a steer weighing 1,356 pounds.
As we keep moving in to the next class here, I think this one comes out and just relative to this class, I think handles it fairly easily. Just in terms of one that is really stout, and I think relative to this group, this guy balances up really, really well. I think that's his big advantage. As we work back, he's better in terms of his center body, he's better in terms of his hip and his stifle shape, and he handles his rear leg quite a bit better than the next two in line. That's a pretty easy place to go ahead and start. Then we get into the red calf here in third, or in second, and another calf here in third that I think are similar in certain ways. I'd like to change both of these just in terms of their balance, in terms of their rear leg and how they get around. I think that red calf is probably just a little bit fresher, a little bit smoother, especially there in his chest, his front 1/3, the way that his neck and everything attaches there. Probably just a little bit neater. This one is going to be third. We get right in behind him, especially from right here, just in terms of his hip and then his stifle down there. There's definitely a little bit more than that one ahead of him. But with that, he's probably got a little bit extra there in terms of his front end as well. And then the one we're going to round out the class with, I think just gets a little bit frailer, runs out of just some muscle compared to those ahead of him. I think this one might actually get out and go just a notch better. One that balances up as good as the other two right ahead of him. We just need a little bit more on him.
Congratulations to our first place winner, Callie Simple. Second place, Colton Blamble. Third place, Landon Sisler. And fourth place, Joseph Hauser. We now need our first and second place winners back in the ring for the medium weight drive. Lee Witt, Nick Bernadowitz, and Callie Simple.
As we bring this division back out here, I think we have three really nice calves. Maybe nothing out here that is just runs away with it. But I think three that are really nice, all respectable. I think there's some differences. That one from the first class there, I think gives a really good look. That one, I think when you get on top of him within these three, he probably has the least there, just in terms of mass, in terms of overall base width. And I think that holds him back just a notch. This one in the middle here, when you get on top of him, there's a lot there. I think this one balances up really, really well. And then this one at the end, he is the stoutest, the widest, the most massive in here. He's also the coarsest, and he's the roughest just in terms of his build, in terms of his top line out of this group. For this division here, we're going to go ahead and go with the young man there in the middle for your champion. we dropped that second in from that class, and I think within this class, that pair at the top of that class is the toughest decision in this group. We're going to go ahead and keep that one there. That'll be a reserve.
Congratulations to our champion medium weight and champion county bred medium weight, Nick Bernadowitz, and our reserve medium weight and reserve county bred medium weight, Laura Semple. We now need class 1 of the heavyweight dry, Ryan Nyman, tag, 1,366 pounds. Charlie Hayes with a steer weighing 1,390 pounds. Colleen Eisentrout with a steer weighing 1,398 pounds. And Brayton Hayes with a steer weighing 1,398 pounds.
I think another really nice class here, and I think a good class all the way down through. I think all four of these are finished well, they're fed well, they all have plenty of muscle. It just comes down to some differences, just kind of how they're put together and how they're made. I think this top pair are both really, really nice. I think the difference for me, the one that's gonna win, I think when we get him propped up there on the side, I think he's quite a bit better, just how his neck and his shoulder and everything attaches there. I think one that balances up really good when you get hold of him. That skin and hair is really good. He's fitted up really nice. I think if we were going to fix him just a little bit, I'd probably like to change him right there on the back side of his shoulder. Probably like to give him just a little bit more. I think he gets just a little bit tighter there. But with that, he still gives you a super good look up through that front end, and I think that's some of that. You're going to give up just a notch right there. And then we get into the one here in second, and I think this one, when you get right on top of him, there's plenty of shape, plenty of mass in this one. I think comparatively to that one that's ahead of him, just everything gets a little bit more compact. He's probably not just as cool right up there through his shoulder, through his chest, where all that's put together. Everything just gets just a little bit, just a notch shorter. But I think that's a really, really nice steer to go ahead and be second. Nice pair. Then we get into one that's in third. This guy's just really, really solid. He handles good. He's finished good. He just doesn't quite have the balance. He just doesn't quite have the flash of those two ahead of him. But that's a really solid steer there for the young man in third. This one in fourth, a lot of the same can be said. That's a nice steer, plenty of muscle. I think that one gets the roughest just in terms of the skeleton, in terms of the way it comes out of his shoulder, the way his hip and hind leg work within this class. But a really nice class. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Congratulations to our class winner out of Class 1, Charlie Hayes. Second place to Brayton Hayes. Brayton's our first place county bred. Third place to Ryan Nyman. He's our second place county bred. Fourth place to Colleen Eisentraut. Also, there's been a lost iPhone 16 in the Cow Palace. It has a black case. Now entering the ring is Class 2 of the heavyweights. Carson Foreman with the steer weighing 1,406 pounds. Chloe Kelly with the steer weighing 1,412 pounds. Caleb Stone with the steer weighing 1,435 pounds. Brantley Ball with the steer weighing 1,445 pounds. And London Castillo with the steer weighing 1,448 pounds. Platinum sponsors the PCLA, Street Store, Preston Contractors, Prodigy Digital, Snyder Heating and Cooling, Billstone Excavating, Preston Farmers Market, Schrock Farm Equipment, Lennox Loyal Workers, Farm Credit of the Virginias, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, Eglin Mountaineers 4-H Club, and Cranberry Medical Clinic. Our gold sponsors, Kevin and Samantha Stone, Bakeville Enterprises, Valley Pharmacy, Bill and Cindy Shockey, Joe and Crystal Dean, ACI Lear Mine, Child Feeding Supply, and Cell Enterprises. Our silver sponsors, Preston County CEOs, Sandy House 4-H Club, John and Nicole Peasley.
as we move into this next class, it took a little bit longer to kind of put these together. I think a good class all the way through. I think you can definitely tell the kids have been working with these a lot and really getting them fit up and getting them out here presented a really, really high level. And I think there's some give and take between some of these. And the one we're going to end up with, his big advantage in this class is he's just really, really stout. He's stout at the ground. He's wide. That carries all the way throughout. With that, he probably gets just a notch more compact than a couple of these others in here. He's probably just a little bit straighter on those back legs. But I think he's plenty good. We're going to go ahead and use him in this class. I think that's a really nice steer. Then we get a Hereford here that's going to be in second. And I think this one here, just from a body standpoint, he's really big body. He's really good just in terms of his balance, holding everything together. I think this one, when you get him out here comparatively to a couple of these other ones, he's a Hereford. He's going to be a little bit more waisty just in terms of that front end, that neck, that chest floor. But I think he holds everything together really, really well, balances up really nice. That's a nice calf to go ahead and be second. Then we get into third and fourth, and I think both of these are really, really nice. They're highly presented. I think both of these have similar problems. This one that's in third, his advantage over everything in the class is up in that front end, that neck. He's the most extended, the highest when he ties out of his neck. Probably the most refined in terms of his front end. With that, when we get right out of the backside of his shoulder, he gives that shape to both of those two right behind him. He gets higher just in his overall spine. He's a little bit frailer at the ground than the ones ahead of him there. And some of the same could be said for this next one. I think when we get right on top of him, there's plenty of shape in this one. He just comes in too many pieces. He just needs to transition a little bit better right out of his shoulder, handle his hind leg a notch better, but that's a nice steer as well. And then the red one that we're going to round out the class with runs into a pretty tough class. Like we've talked about, some of these other ones, once they get heavier like this, that calf is fed good, is finished, probably just doesn't have some of the extras in terms of the show ring when we get out here to work himself up anymore.
Congratulations to our first place out of Class 2, London Castile. Second place, Carson Foreman. He's our first place county bred. Third place, Brantley Ball. He's our second place county bred. Fourth place, Caleb Stone. Fifth place, Chloe Kelly. Third place county bred. Now entering the ring, we have Class 3, Emma Foreman with a steer weighing 1,457 pounds. Lena C. with a steer weighing 1,460 pounds. Nathan Wolf with a steer weighing 1,462 pounds, and Easton Hayes with a steer weighing 1,465 pounds.
As we get up into the heaviest class here, I think one that's a little bit more challenging, a little bit harder to kind of put together. I don't know that there's anything in here that maybe fits together exactly kind of what I'm looking for. I think the one we're going to go and start out with, his big advantage is just he's really stout. And with that, I think he gets a little bit more compact in some places. And I don't really think that there's one in here that necessarily balances exactly the way that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and call him good enough on that. But once we get to these heavyweights, all these have fed really well. They all have plenty to them just in terms of center body and some mass. This one that's coming in second, I think most closely follows him from being just a little bit trimmer, holding himself together just a notch better. I think that one gives up some muscle, some width to the one ahead of him, and probably even the one behind him here. But I think that one is just a little fresher, stays together a little bit better than the Hereford that's going to be third. This one here, big body, big center body, has some width, has some mass. I think this one's probably just pushing past where he needs to be. He's getting just a little bit wasty in terms of his front end there. His top line's not one to stay in, probably exactly where it needs to be. I think that that's a pretty nice one, though. A lot of good things. And then the one we're going to round out with, a nice solid calf. One that I think when you get him in here, you compare him to everything else. We get right in behind him. We go in to handle him. He's the lightest muscled in this group, and he's the frailest and the least comfortable as he gets out and moves off of those back legs.
Congratulations to our class winner out of Class 3, Easton Hayes. Second place, Lena C. Third place, Emma Foreman. Fourth place, Nathan Wolf. Easton is our first place county bred, Emma Foreman is our second, and Nathan Wolf is our third. Now entering the ring for Class 4 of the heavyweights, Reagan Neiman with a steer weighing 1,492 pounds. Chelsea Stevenson with a steer weighing 1,542 pounds, and Vera Strasser with a steer weighing 1,622 pounds. I'd like to congratulate Vera Strasser for being our rate of gain winner, gaining 3.13 pounds a day. We had a white iPhone turned in to the announcer's stand. There's a picture of a man with a baby on it at the U.S. Cellular.
as we move in to the final class here, another nice set of three. I think all these, obviously, they're a little bit bigger. They've got good muscle. These first two, I think, are both, they probably excel this one just in terms of having a little bit of extra body, a little bit of extra just density and three-dimensional shape. This one that we're going to go ahead and lead off with, I think the big advantage in this one, I think he's a little stouter at the ground just in terms of his footwork, his bone work. And then as we work up through his front 1/3, his front end, I think he ties a little bit higher there. It's just a little bit longer spine, a little bit smoother just in terms of his top line, his underline at this point. I think specifically his chest to flank ratio and how he balances up. He's better than this one that's in second. The one that's in second here, really, really stout, really wide on the top side of the skeleton. Gets a little bit frailer at the ground. Probably is getting a little bit mature in terms of just his chest, his front end, and just how everything's holding together. But that's a nice steer to go ahead and be second. Then the one we're going to round out with, this one is good looking just in terms of his top line. Stands on a big set of feet. This one, like I said before, just needs to balance a little bit better. We need more center body. We need more in the rear third of this one. But that's a nice steer as well. Let's go ahead and give those young ladies a round of applause.
Congratulations to our Class 4 exhibitors. First place, Vera Strasser. Second place, Chelsea Stevenson with our first place county bred. And third place, Reagan Nyman with our second place county bred. We now need the first places from each class back in the ring for the heavyweight drive. First place in Class 1, Charlie Hayes. First place from Class 2, London Castile. First place from Class 3, Easton Hayes. And first place from Class 4, Vera Strasser.
Not yet, but there's the
We would like to thank our volunteers and the behind-the-scenes donations, the Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, PCLA officers and directors, our barn and show chairman, the auctioneers, the extension office, Nick Volk, Stone Paving, Stephanie Arnett with Charm Flower Farm, Mountain Digital Hometown TV, Prodigy Fiber to Home, LEC Market, BFS, Tractor Supply, Freedom Ag and Energy, Valley Point Farmers Feed and Supply, Affordable Signs, Samantha Stone, and Triple P Meats.
As we bring this heavyweight group back out here, I think a really good set all the way down through. I think probably in a couple of these classes up towards the beginning, I think we're a little bit heavier just in terms of competition, in terms of depth, and in some of those as we start to work back up. I think it comes down to these ones out of these first two classes. There's some differences between the two. That one from the first class there, like we talked about there in his class, he just gives you a really good look when you go in and handle him. He's really fresh. He feels really good. He's really smooth. And then this one that is out of that next class there, he's really stout. He's really powerful. He's big at the ground. I guess the question with him is just how compact or how jammed up is he? He's getting a little bigger, pushing out in terms of that shoulder, in terms of the way that neck comes up out of there. I think he's probably just a little bit more compact than is ideal. But there's a lot there just in terms of power and just muscle and just overall stoutness. I think both of those are two really nice calves. We're going to go ahead and use the young man for your champion here in this division.
We need Brayton Hayes, second place steer.
I think for reserve, we go ahead and drop that one in out of the first class there, and I think he comes in and he fits right in with this group. Came out of a tough class there. Like a lot of things about this one, I think one that's good up through his front end there. He's smooth as we work back out of his shoulder. I think with him, maybe comparatively to that one that we used for champion there, just doesn't balance up quite as well, probably doesn't wow you. Just right from behind, his hind leg, everything closes up. He gets just a little bit frailer there at the ground. And I think that's where your decision becomes a little closer here with one that's just really stout, really powerful, one that's given up a little bit. Still probably has a little bit extra just in terms of look to him. But we're going to go ahead and use one out of that second class for your reserve here in this division.
We need Brayton to stay in the ring. We now need Carson Foreman to the ring. Easton needs to stay. Vera is dismissed, and we need Chelsea Stevenson.
We go ahead and drop a couple of these in here that were this Hereford here that was second in class to the one we just used for reserve. And I thought that was a really good class, probably the best group within this division. I like that one a lot. We're going to go ahead and use him for your champion here in this.
We need Brantley Ball.
As we move in here to pick for reserve, we bring the red calf in here. I think it gets a little bit closer between him and the one at the front of the line here. I think those two are fairly similar just in terms of a lot of the way that they're put together. I think the things you change about them, probably stopping them up a little bit from behind in their rear legs a little bit. I think at the end of the day, this red calf just has a little bit more to him. He's going to go ahead and be a reserve in this division.
Congratulations to our champion heavyweight, Charlie Hayes, our reserve champion heavyweight, London Castile, our champion county bred heavyweight, Carson Foreman, and our reserve champion county bred heavyweight, Brantley Ball. We now need our champion from each division. We just need Kinley Stone, Nick Bernadowicz, and Charlie Hayes. Caden Bollier, Laura Semple, and London Castile, please be on standby.
As we bring these three back in for your grand drive, let's go ahead and give these three young men a big round of applause for making it out here. I think it's been a really good show, and the goats and the lambs and everything earlier today. I think especially at the top end, really high quality. I think a lot of good showmen all day, and like I talked about in the lamb and goat shows, obviously there's a lot of people here. Stands are full, and even this morning when I first got here at 8 o'clock, there wasn't a whole lot of people, but as the lamb show went on, there was a ton of people that came in. So there's a lot of people here supporting these kids, and you can tell just by their showmanship and the quality of the animals that they bring in here. So kudos to everybody in the community, everybody that puts on this here, the breeders, the parents. Let's just have a round of applause for all those people that make this happen. I think from there, when we get these three out here, I like a lot of things about all of them. I think probably, if you've listened to me talk a little bit today, there was one of them that probably just caught my eye within class, and that still holds true when we get back out here. Your grand is going to be the heavyweight right here in front of you.
London Castile. Congratulations to Charlie Hayes. Congratulations, London. We need our Nick, you need to stay, please. Kinley, you are dismissed. We need Ryland Sanders to the ring for County Bred, Division 1, and then Division 3, we need Carson Foreman. We would like to thank our judge, Nick Fowler from Hardin County, Ohio. Congratulations, Carson. We now need Brantley Ball to the ring, please.
Go right behind Nick. I know, I saw that. Go right
Charlie Hayes. Our reserve champion skier, London Castile. Our grand champion county bred market skier, Carson Foreman. And our reserve champion county bred market skier,